unfortunately, us as humans, until the pain becomes so great that we understand that change has to happen, unfortunately, we don't change sometimes until the pain becomes that great. Because in 2016, for those who have heard the story, I'll share it briefly if you haven't. It was really a place in my life where I had found myself down a path of addiction and running and feeding my own personal desires more than what was the collective goal. And in that moment of my life, that was the pivot. So home for me is where my family is. That home is not that physical location, although that has a lot of value there of our actual home. But home is when I have everybody with me, my wife, children. To me, that's home. And my wife is the anchor. And I'll never forget when I brought up the idea of like, hey babe, I think it's time. Like, I think we're starting to get some momentum. This is when I was working for the district. Phenomenal job, great position. And she was like, I think it is, you're right. And she's like, go after it. You know, just that little vote of confidence for her to say, hey, you can do it, was all I needed to hear. And still to this day, she's always making sure that I have what I need. She's making sure that the children are taken care of, that they know that when dad leaves, dad's going out to add value to other people, that dad's going out to serve other people, to truly do everything that he can to watch them sprout and become, you know, truly who they can be. And, you know, it's so important to have that supportive spouse. And honestly, if I didn't have it, I couldn't do this. My children are really the lifeline for why we do what we do, and along with my wife, of course. But like, I'm always wanting to show them, especially for my two oldest, right? Because they're older, so with Alexi and OV, they've seen dad go through the struggles. They've seen dad and mom, you know, grow and mature, right? Because I mean, we were in our early 20s when we first met and was raising them. And they've watched this whole journey come through. And so for them, it's just showing them like what's possible. You know, like what really can you accomplish? Because I'm no different, I'm no more talented than anybody else that's watching this. But the key is that when you know what you're supposed to do and you go all in, and when it's adding value to other people, that's just what I want to teach them. And you know, the thing with my younger ones is that I just try to make sure they always see my face. And so, you know, one of the things that happened when I first started leaving was we would play some YouTube videos that I have up on the channel, so that Bella could see some of those, and she would light up. And now the key is that every morning I'll send a video of me talking to her and wishing her and praying with her, so that she can really know that, you know, that dad's still there with you, even though in the business of the morning I may not be able to actually FaceTime because I'm about to go on stage. And to be honest with you, when my wife and I start to have telephone conversations, I'm on the road, specifically when I'm on the road, it's very little about business. Matter of fact, it's probably 0.5% to 1% about business. And so we're staying connected because I'm always trying to keep up with what's happening, what's going on. Because unfortunately, the deal about traveling, anybody that's watching this that travels a lot knows that you do miss sometimes. But here's the other piece about it. I think the real answer to this question about how do we stay connected is that when I'm here, I am totally present. And I try to be very intentional about the time that I'm here, that I believe that sometimes in 2 hours, I can accomplish more than what I used to in 2 days, because I'm locked in and I'm intentional about every minute that I have and that I spend with them. And so staying connected, not only through technology while I'm away, but then when I'm here, how intentional am I about coming back together? And I think so often in life, we're present in the physical space, but we're not truly present. And so for a lot of people, they'll say, well, Joe, you're gone a lot. Well, that's true, but what are you doing while you're there? And I think comparing Joe to other Joe, I think I'm more locked in and more present and connected today in fewer hours than I was when I had more hours, because I'm intentional and I don't want to lose them.